It was the summer of 2012 when we started our company after going through Stanford University Accelerator program. After that, it was a hell of a ride. We have won so far four European grants and have been through two of the most prestigious accelerators in the world. One is Stanford University Accelerator and the other one, Microsoft Accelerator in Berlin. We are proud to say that we now have clients in 8 countries worldwide. And this is who we are, and this is how we see the world. This is the website of one of the main banks in the US, and this is how we see the world. All the startups and small companies disrupting their business. This is startups that are providing services in loans, peer-to-peer lending, savings, anything really. And this is not only true for fintech, it's also true for the automobile space, for space industry, for retail, for insurance tech, for oil and gas, for agri-food. Okay, so this is how we see the world. So when I received the call by Monique, she asked me to give some speech on the next generation internet and how the trends would look like in the short to mid-term. And I thought about one of the topics that we think as a company is going to be game-changing and is going to be fundamental, and that's data protection and data privacy. And inside data protection, we thought about talking about privacy by design, and more in particularly about differential privacy. So what is data telling us about differential privacy as a fundamental part of the next generation internet? Data is telling us that this field, differential privacy, is growing massively over the last 5 years, and it has peaked in 2017. But most importantly, if you look at who is authoring documents, who is active in this field in the last 5 years, you see a change in trend from the universities, the university groups leading the way to small, medium-sized companies. Even more, if we look at the data sources of the references in this field, you see that conference proceedings are actually one of the most important. This is typical of an ICT with a big component in R&D. And in fact, small companies now have overcome universities as the main actors in this field. If we look at public funding, in the end, this is an audience that cares a lot about the European landscape and H2020, so we took a deeper look at that, and I'm going to show you in just a minute, but I want to give you an overview of how the public funding looks like, the trends over the last 6 years. We see that actually, even though this is a hot topic now, the European Commission has started pouring money back in 2012, and it's actually decreasing until the last 4 or 5 years. The number of grants are around 10 to 20 per year, and the EU surpassing the US in terms of public funding in this topic. If we look at the clusterization of documents of references in this field, we see at the bottom in black some of the most important subtopics, which are privacy algorithms and preserving privacy, one of the applications. If we look at countries, it's interesting to see that even though the European Commission has made a bigger effort in terms of public funding, the US organizations are actually more active in this field. If we take a look at some of these, we see University of Pennsylvania, Microsoft, or Apple recently sparking their interest in the topic. Actually, some of the organizations that are ranked higher in terms of activity are present here. You see Wuhan University from China, you see Microsoft at the top, and a European company, SAP, because of their patents and their conference proceedings. Some other US organizations very active in the field, Harvard University or Cornell. In some of the most relevant references we found in the field, we actually see some European universities like Rovira and Virgili University in Catalonia with their approach to individual differential privacy as opposed to group of individuals. We also see the work of University of Edinburgh, which uses a process visualization technique known as the Petri net to achieve the aims of privacy by design. A deeper look into patents, and we see a patent by SAP, by Samsung, and the work of Apple working on determining whether a message received by a client may be spam in a computing environment that preserves privacy. Just to give you a quick overview of what we usually do in this type of reports that we provide to our clients, just wanted to show you the work of 4 corporations, 3 in the US and 1 in the EU. We see Microsoft, which we saw before, ranking high in terms of activity, working in algorithms to maintain the privacy of the user of CPS systems. SAP, working on encrypted database systems. Google, working on optimal noise adding mechanisms for approximate differential privacy. And IBM, who actually has been participating in 2 European projects, MIDAS and AU to EU. Other relevant organizations are like the Foundation Privacy by Design and Wirewheel, a startup that raised very recently $10.1 million in June of 2018. Some other startups working in the field, Privitar, also another funding round of 16 million euros in July 2017, and in April 2018, Orchid, who raised over 40 million euros. So the field is getting hot. If we look at, if we have a deeper look at the European funding scenario, we can actually figure out who are the main players, who have been the organizations that are being most successful in terms of public funding from the European Commission in H2020. This is an overview of ranking of active organizations in the field of privacy by design and differential privacy. You see Catholic University of Leuven ranking at the top. You see Atos, a usual suspect. You see University of Cologne, Fraunhofer, TU Eindhoven, Trialog. And if we actually take a deeper look at what are some of these grants, you can actually see the details and title and coordinators of each one of them. But let's take a deeper look in each one of these organizations and where they are participating and who they are collaborating with. So Atos, for example, participated in 3 European projects. One of them as coordinators, Defend. Other 2 is Prepare and Rerum. And they actually collaborate in several conference proceedings with 2 universities in Spain, University of Vigo and Technical University of Madrid, and the company Trialog. This is their network of collaborations in terms of European projects. So all this, it can be done with our tool, and it can be customized for the client's needs. And I think it actually helps to, based on data, to predict and to understand some of the trends of the next generation internet. Philips, one other of the key players, coordinator in SODA and AU2EU, where we saw before IBM was also participating. Telefonica in 2 European projects, collaborating with these affiliations right there. Catholic University of Ljubljana, who ranked at the top, 5 European projects. And their collaborators, Austrian Institute of Technology, Thales Alenia. And finally, Technical University of Madrid, as I said, collaborating with Atos, Trialog, and University of Vigo, and with their network of collaborators right there for you to take a look. Finally, Fraunhofer from Germany, also in 3 European projects. And I want to finalize my presentation giving you a tool for you to work even further in any topic really that you think is going to be interesting for the next generation internet. This is something that we have recently launched in our startup, and we call it Feed, and it's like an alert system. So typically when you do an analysis of a state of the art, like the one that I just showed in 5 minutes, you typically need to stay updated because this analysis of a state of the art is going to be out of date in 6 to 9 months, if not before that. So for that, we have created this alert system where you can actually follow any topic or any company and get updates directly into your inbox. You can actually edit and process complex queries in the dashboard we provide, and you would be able to see some insights like how the references have been evolving over the last 4 to 5 weeks, new references like new grants in the field, organizations moving to the field like Dialogflow, which is actually a company that raised 8.6 million funds and have been acquired by Google. We actually spotted this company thanks to the alert system. So I just wanted to inspire you a little bit of what data analytics could do for you to understand emerging technologies and emerging trends. And I hope that we can all apply this to the next generation internet. Come talk to me if you are interested to work with my company and want to collaborate in European projects or commercial projects. Thank you very much.